we all go through unexpected things in our life, unexpected seasons, unexpected news, things that can really knock our knees out from under us, that can take the wind out of our sails and really leave us with shipwrecked faith. That's why I really am so excited about the guest we have today. She has been living a miracle for over 16 years and absolutely making the best of each moment, not being a victim, but being a victor. And not only just having a full, precious, amazing life, but also helping others to see the beauty in their situations. And so, Evelyn, it's so great to have you today on the program.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I met you years ago at a women's business event, and you had the most adorable little business card, and it had just your name, and it said blogger. And at that time, blogging wasn't, a household word like it is now. And I was so intrigued, and you were so gracious. You said, "Oh, I'll teach you, I'll help you." And I've never gotten rid of that card. And so I love full circles. But at that time, I remember that you and our mutual friend Kim shared about your son, and then I started following you on different social media platforms, and so I'm so happy. Your first book, which I know you've been on a lot of programs, Miracle in My Living Room, and I love how it says the story of a little man, and that's your last name. So let's just start. Can you just tell our viewers about Samuel and about how his story started in 2005?
Well, actually, it's a beautiful love story. I'm going to start with my husband.
Yes, that's a good place to start.
Yeah, that's a good place to start. We met on ChristianCafe.com.
Wow.
Yes, and 3 years to the day that we met, we got married. And just like anybody who's a brand new couple, you're just excited, and then 6 months later to find out you're pregnant, and the joy that comes with that, and first child, and it's just that euphoria.
Yeah.
And then we went to our sonogram appointment, where you find out if you're going to have a boy or a girl, and that's just an exciting moment for any couple.
Yeah.
But when we saw the sonogramist was very quiet, I thought, okay, maybe she's just waiting for the doctor to let us know if we're having a boy or a girl. And then we went into the doctor's office, and it was a while for him to come back in. And that's when he said, there's a problem with your pregnancy. Your child is not growing the way we expect it to at this point, around week 20. And so that was the start of a roller coaster.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So how did you, I know you're a woman of faith and your husband's a man of faith, you get this report. What were the doctors advising that you do?
Well, we heard more often than not the option of termination, and I thank you for bringing up that my husband and I are people of faith, because that was our firm foundation. As a matter of fact, the day that they told us that it could be one of 3 diagnoses, all of them not compatible with life, that day you would imagine would be the worst day. And I don't know how to explain it, except for God gave me the peace that passes all understanding, and it bounced off I heard it and I understood what they were saying, but it was a peace that I hadn't, that verse, I lived it that day.
Yeah.
But what was really amazing is when I went to lunch with my husband, I said, well, should I bring this up, what this peace I felt? And so I brought it up to him, and he looked at me and he goes, yeah, I felt the same way.
Wow.
And I almost get to tears thinking about it right now, because God gave us the peace that passes understanding at the same
time. How precious is that?
Yeah.
So you knew that was your answer, that you were going to trust the Lord and move forward and believe for a miracle.
Absolutely.
Now, miracles don't always look the way that we want them to look. Sometimes, we have an expectation of God, and we hope against hope, and we have a plan, and then we get disappointed if God doesn't do it on our terms the way we wanted. So here you are, and you give birth, and so tell us about that.
Well, I really appreciate that you brought that up, because miracle, I think most people have this vision of it's an instantaneous thing.
Yeah.
And it happens. And Samuel lived a day, so they weren't expecting him to live a day. Then he lived another day. Then he lived another day. We were celebrating every month that he made it. The first month we were celebrating. The second month we were celebrating, because we didn't know if we would be able to celebrate his first birthday. So our miracle was he survived, and our miracle continued because God had other plans.
Yeah.
It was just a longer process, and I really appreciate that, because I want everybody to see that miracles have different shades and colors and different shapes.
Yeah. So you and your husband go from celebrating every day, every week, and every month to fast forward to us today.
Oh,
And how old is little Miracle Samuel?
So Samuel is 16 years old.
Yay, God!
I know. He'll be 17 in August of this
Wow.
year. And, there's so many blessings to him.
Yeah.
I think people see the glass half empty, and that glass is half full. I don't see the empty, I see the full.
Yeah.
I mean, he laughs, he's full of joy. A lot of times at night, he'll be giggling. He just has a giggle fest, like right before he goes to bed. And I've tried to video it, but it's dark in his room, I can't really quite video. But when I say it's a miracle in my living room, I could also say there's joy in my living room.
Yeah.
There's happiness, there's this full of life.
Yeah.
Love.
Vivacious.
Yes, and full of life instead of what was predicted originally.
Right.
And like you talked about full circle, us, meeting, this is full circle in that God has done a work in him that we wouldn't believe if we were told